What's up, Trios Tribe? It's been a minute for a deck list, top 16 on eggmanevents.com. But we had one this past February 20 something, 20, we'll say 22nd because I'm deranged and slow. But Carta Magica here at the end of February had on Saturday, past Saturday, I guess, had the Ultimate Cup, the final Ultimate Cup of the 2024-2025 season. Basically the last one that's going to give out the Shine Greymon support for... That's it. It's the last one that's going to give the Shine Greymon support. It's also the last official event for EX08, so farewell to EX8. It's kind of cool. That being said, wow. I'm gonna say, with how everything has been going between Eagle's Nest results and all kinds of like little events here and there, a couple of regional or two or other Ultimate Cups, I was not expecting this pie chart to come out of EX8, right? Wow, you could expect purple hybrid, right? But Imperial, the set came out from out the gate. Imperial has not been performing well, right? You would see one or two here and there, but mostly speaking, like it's safe to say that Imperial has been seeing its way out the door, but it decided to open the door and keep its foot in the door. Holy, 6 Imperials. So 12 of our top 16 are 2 decks, which probably isn't the most healthy thing, but at least we can say the format's over because this Friday 2.5 comes out. So let's just go talk about the top 16 real quick. Let me show you the rest. So it was February 22nd. I think I was close. Well, that being said, Crispy is our purple hybrid. Purple hybrid takes the whole event. We also got a lot of fun names in here. Imperial and purple hybrid kind of took the top half kind of dominantly. I think the only one that didn't was we got Domini and Bloomlord also showing up in the top 8, which is an important number. D Reaper Control, whatever we want to call it, D Reaper Control, Shoto Mother, whatever, man. Mirage Galaxy by my friend AJ was also able to top. I know they went X2, so somewhere around this 8th place is definitely where the X2 kind of stops, or starts, I should say. And then purple and Imperial all the rest of the way down. It's crazy. Also, did you watch TCGs? He kind of told me that there was an interesting part of his list worth talking about, him being the lowest of the Imperialdramons, but he tops all the time, man. It's kind of crazy, honestly. Dinkelberg, Josh, Patrick, Schmolderfeld, Dirty Hipster. I love. There is a part of me that loves that we're using. Also, Dan Vang and Tyler also did well, right? So a lot of names. Always fun to have names. Let's see if I remember which keybind switches the tab here. Hey, we did it. Oh, we're so sick with it. Let me get this screen up and good for you guys. And yeah, let's talk about it. This one will be AJ. This is AJ's Mirage Galaxy list. I know everybody's like, Mirage Galaxy needs to get banned, do something to the Tamers. At the end of the day, people are bringing the decks they think are going to do well, and when they do well, it's like, well, they were right? Like, it's interesting to see where Mirage Galaxy sits right now, right? We are... most of the bottom end is pretty much intact here up until the level 4s. I don't think anyone's surprised about the situation. Maybe a little lower on the Uko count than maybe some people might anticipate, but other than that, pretty standard up until level 4, where we start seeing changes and we start seeing those like EX8 adaptations in the list are definitely... we got the Flaremons. We got a higher count of the Flaremons, which helps us with floodgates, but gives us access to 2 new level 6s that the deck is trying to take advantage of, right? Medieval Gallant and then Dinomon. Dinomon also being a special type of floodgate for everybody. Particularly the opponent's turn, well, this Digimon is suspended. All of your opponent's Digimon can only attack suspended Digimon, and it's really... That ability, I feel like, goes underrated, especially when a lot of people are trying to do sneaky combos against purple hybrid. If they don't have enough colors, they can't even try to swing at your security. And then Medieval being such a strong Death X ruin mode. I mean, closer to Death X, honestly. Just toolbox. Like this card single-handedly has put, I feel like, has put Mirage Galgamon, like the pure Mirage Galgamon builds, like off their throne in terms of like the echelon of tier 1. And then on top of that, any blue and any green and red deck that can digivolve into this guy just saw that extra boost on top of it. Kind of similar to Death X, but on a level 6, right? It's kind of crazy. Like looking at the art, this is a random tangent, but looking at the art, it bugs me that like he's holding this axe with like one hand, and then the second hand, I don't know what it's doing, but it's not helping. You know what I mean? He's just one-handing this thing. He's just like, oh, what's that one scientist that's like give me a pivot or a stick and I can move the earth with, like, and the idea is with a pivot and like the long end of the stick. And it's some science nerd stuff for you guys that I learned back in the day. After that, you know, the mainstays are here, definitely still more focused on the blue top end. I'm just curious as to why now Paladin mode, like the only thing I question is like maybe like the ace situation could have been different. Maybe give us value into a medieval. Maybe we wanted to have, you know, like maybe a red one to supplement the medieval Gallon and the Dinomon situation in case they like just like an emergency switch button. But the Paladin mode kind of stuff does a lot for them too. And then the Wisteria memory boost, probably one of the biggest additions since LM. And then Blue Scramble I could probably see being a little scary because it has to be like your blue Digimon has to Digimon, or your blue Digimon has to digivolve into a blue Digimon. You have to go blue to blue, so you can't do any like crossing shenanigans. But that being said, no, congrats AJ to what place? 11th place, getting up. I think you get up. It's always weird to me that there is no top 16 prizing when it comes to Ultimate Cups, but you know, still being able to achieve the Shine Gray, or is it the Shine Greymon? No, it's the Rise, and then once you're top 8, you get the Shine Greymon. So no, congrats AJ, good friend of mine. I hope to see more regional or competitive success from you. Not that you haven't had it before. And then we get to talk about Enrique's D-Reaper Control. Again, one of those decks that people kind of frowned upon. I frown upon. I'm going to keep being mad at the existence of Mother Shoto. I don't think it's a really pleasant experience to ever have to go against this deck. But again, hate the game, not the player. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Some sports movie said that one time, I'm sure. But a really compact list, I would say. Like just even looking at the tamers, we're not even bothering with the tie, and then on top of that, we're just maxing them out. Maxing out Medieval Gallant is also, without going much into it, Medieval Gallant is just a mainstay in this deck. It is such a powerful piece for this deck, and you can digivolve on top of Rapid just in case to give you like just like this extra level of grossness. I mean, just being able to say suspend your Alliance with Mother, 2 checks at like what is it, 26k by itself, busted. Alliance 2 check, or Alliance Vortex into anything, gross. I mean, especially since unless you're seeing your Shotos, your Mothers are kind of dead in the water, so it gives you like more things to do with Mother, which is like, sounds gross to say, but it gives the deck that like extra texture that it's allowing to take more situations with it gives it more answers to more situations, which I think is very valuable. Just maxing out, it's just crazy that we're maxing out on all the Mercury Sephirothmon stuff. I think this is in part due to wanting to just have access to Shadow Seraphimon, because if you notice, the alternate Digivolution condition on Shadow Seraphi, not only can it digivolve on a Seraphimon for 1, and then obviously any yellow and black level 5, actually has an alternate one that says a Sephirothmon with a Mercurymon in the Digivolution cards. So if we max out on all 8 of each copy, not only does that give us a hybrid to play each turn, especially since, you know, the whole idea is like the Mind Link just keeps recycling tamers in such a powerful way. These Sephiroths suddenly, as long as we have both, these Sephiroths become such a powerful Shadow Seraphi target that I don't think people really account for right now. On top, I'm just like, that must be the biggest reason we're doing this setup as hybrids, because otherwise, like, I could see there being a justification to maybe potentially have Beetlemon in here, maybe Metal Kabuterimon, just because we are on Shakumon, and giving us like a DNA target sounds kind of cool to me. Or giving us a way to actually DNA sounds cool to me, I should say. But no, other than that, it's Mother Control. The biggest addition is Medieval Gallant at 4 copies, powerful, even cutting into the Edamon slot just so we can have full Medievals, and also the 4 Shaco for. It's just a really tight, compact list. I could see there being issues in terms of draw power, but right, because we don't have like analog, we don't have any analog use, or we don't have any what's the other one, Digimon Emperor. There's no real satisfying draw engine right now. But just, I imagine just, you know, good tamer control and just big bodies that we're able to play down for cheap just gives us a lot of value in the long run. So congrats, Enrique, on 10th place. Going forward from that, let's talk about the Bloomlord list that did really well. Bloomlord username Premium MSG, cutting in just north of our 8th place, cutting into the Shine Greymon pricing. I gotta admit, nothing crazy about this list. I guess the biggest thing for me, like in my immediate like Bloomlord nonsense logic, we haven't seen Bloomlord in a while, so forgive me if I forget Bloomlord things, but obviously the biggest additions since the original Bloomlord release are going to be things like the Grand Gale that gives us Unaffected, which is huge, and then Medieval Gallimon again. If you're green or red, it's a mainstay, and even if you're not green or red, Medieval Gallimon is just kind of doing a lot for you, right? That being said, outside of those 2 cards, the only thing that stands out to me is that there's no Lilamon, right? We're upping our Palmon count to give us more consistency on Palmon X, adding a Floodgate, because why not? I'm curious as to why we don't have a Terriermon Floodgate, along with, is that all the Floodgates Green has? Doesn't Green also have like a can't reduce Digivolution cost Floodgate? Or is it really just 2 Floodgates for Green? Oh, rest in peace, Green. Other than that, those are the big things that stand out to me. Otherwise, it's Bloomlord at its best. We have 5 Tamers. The Mimis all together really go together with the Togemon real well, along with the Palmon Palmon X inheritable that gains you a memory. So making this Mimi for free, and then this Mimi a +1, potentially +2. This Mimi, I'm surprised we're not even just running this Mimi at 4 copies, honestly. But with the 4 trainings, we got Quartzmon, we got Quantumon, just like your mainstay Bloomlord top end here. Obviously the inclusion of Gallant, but even Chimeramon makes a showing. There's anything missing? No Cherrymon, I guess, for some defensive plays, but I can imagine that the deck has just kind of moved on to just being more aggressive, and then trying to get a good board to lock a Quartzmon, get a good Quartzmon lock on your opponent real quick for a turn, so then you can just win on the subsequent turn. Subsequent turn. But no, other than that, everything else makes sense. It's Bloomlord. It's again no Lilamon, but Palmon makes sense. It's another searcher. What kind of searcher is it? Does it get fairy? Oh, it's one of those that gets a plant and a fairy, so you can kind of like get your top end real fast. It's mostly the fairies are just. It's really, is this a fairy? Oh, it is. So it gets you your Bloomlord and your Quantumon. So it gets a good basically only your top end, right? Because I guess the Lily X as well, because all these are, the rest of it are plants, and this guy's a bird dragon, whatever. And then after that, the last unique list, I believe, is the Hikari Neko. I wonder if I said that right. Domini being our best yellow deck for a while now, ever since Magnamon X vaccine kind of took its ban list hit. Domini is a deck that just keeps showing up every now and then. It kind of was, I would have said like a week or two ago, it's on the same level as Imperial in terms of representation. It gets a top here and there, but it's nothing like crazy. I may expect to see it, but you know, no, it's just still a good deck. But nothing crazy in terms of the list. You see the mainstays, Angewomon Ace getting, again, the bet. We've said this before, but the Dominimon, once you have Dominimon on the field, being able to set up 2 Angewomon Aces beside Dominimon is basically just a free game for any Domini player at that point. It's just a game of turns. At that point, they will eventually win. 2 Paladin mode Aces, I imagine, so you can loop yourself pretty well. It doesn't digivolve on yellow, so your only target is the Seraphimon and the Cherubimon. And I guess it goes without saying, I don't know if we were able to talk about this last time, but obviously Shadow Seraphi, the inclusion of Shadow Seraphi to the deck has given it an extra way to deal with those, with boards that it wouldn't normally be able to deal with. The decks that normally deal with it now have to figure out a way to get around Shadow Seraphi. Just more options and more I like to call it texture. The deck can do more things and in more situations because of Shadow Seraphi. And because of Shadow Seraphi, people are now including the normal Seraphimon ace, giving us a potential 2 aces, 3 aces if we're sitting on a level 4 somehow. We go, you know, it's very easy, right? You go 4, ace into 5, ace into 6, ace into 6 again, ace into 7. So like I guess you can't do that because I'm dumb, but you get where I'm going with that. But other than that, Domini, I wouldn't be the Patamon. I will always say that probably is too strong, but I get it. Like Domini's scary, man. If there is probably like, it feels like it's a consistency card away, or like some kind of DP protection card away from winning game or taking tournaments by storm. It probably also struggles with going to time. I feel like Domini decks kind of draw. They have a play style that invokes, you know, a slower play from both players, kind of like a security control, right? Not to mention healing just drags out games. If you're behind and you just keep healing, it doesn't matter what your opponent does, the game is going longer. So Domini suffers from that, I feel. And I will not entertain anybody being like, I'll never agree with the old security control mantra of, my deck isn't slow, I just play 1 card per turn, it's my opponent's third. So like, well, you are playing the deck that is slowing the game down. It's your fault. I'm sorry. And not that Domini's super like that, but you know what I'm trying to say. But congrats, Hikari Neko. Is that like cat? Is that the last half of your name is cat? Is that how you spell Neko? Like cat Neko? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. So this is, unfortunately, we will always admit our mistakes in these videos, but this is Did You Watch TCG's Imperial? We have it listed as Imperialdramon, but it really is Magnamon X armor. Sometimes we make mistakes on labeling decks. I'm sorry, TCG Tamer. But that being said, it makes your deck a little unique for sure. We have the Hex Blouse, we have Medieval Gallant, of course, Dino Bee. That's interesting. Let's refresh myself on what this does. It definitely has the trash, the classic green. If I delete you in battle, trash your top security. And then DNA. Oh, this is the one that lets plus 3k, and then you may attack an opponent's Digimon, which is kind of gross. Togemogumon is actually a really good card that comes up often. And then we're actually playing the I love that, like, man, it'll never not amuse me how good these level 4s are. Just gaining the memory end of turn, keeping your shenanigans going, and we're gonna see so much more of this Wormon. Oh my god, Red Purple Imperial, this Wormon is everything I've ever wanted. It's crazy. If you guys have been catching the live streams of our 2.5 proxy tournaments, you've been seeing this guy do some work, and oh my goodness, is it work. After that, I can't really judge this list too hard. Not judge, I guess, but like speak on this list more. It's still like we got the Imperial basics of rookies. We are playing Davis Ken. We're actually playing an extra tamer. Oh no, this is the no. This is the standard 4-2 Imperialdramon level 4 lineup. The armor lineup is probably the most interesting. Not playing any yellow Magnamon, just playing the D-Digivolve one, and only playing 2 of the D-Digivolve one. I guess mostly because like you're only trying to find 1 armor for when you go into your Magnamon X. You're probably never trying to DNA 2 armors and then Magnamon X. So I guess that makes sense. After that, Medieval makes it stay. Hexblow, fighter mode or paladin mode, add 2 copies so you can get a perfect loop in case the game goes long, especially against purple hybrid. Hidden potential, HPD, return to the progenitor, Jade memory boost. Plenty of decks are getting finding use out of all the gem boosts. It really makes me hope that they end up finishing the last, what we have. How many did we get? I can't even remember. I know we're missing like the last half or something. There should be a total of 6 times 5 is 30 half that is 15. So what, we got probably like 6 or 7 of them. So we're missing like half of the gem boosts in terms of potential colors, because what, there's 6 colors in this game, right? Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but we don't count white. Let's not count white. So there's 6 colors in this game, so there should be 15 different gem boosts possible, and we only have, what, 6 of them? I think that's right. I think we only have 6 of them, so we're missing more than half. Wow, how about that? Maybe my math's wrong. Any math nerd out there can probably check me, but I tend to be good with statistics or permutations. But no, congrats. Did you watch TCG? If anyone doesn't know, this guy comments on people's videos all the time. He's definitely ingrained himself in the community, talks about the community. Isn't a content creator themselves, but definitely has a presence. I feel like most content creators will see his icon and see his name and remember who he is. And I certainly do. Mr. Black War Greymon. Next, we'll keep talking about Imperialdramons. This is 9th place. Yeah, this is most definitely 9th place. Sean Correra. Is it Sean or Sheen? Shane. I don't know, man. Like those. I hate reading that name sometimes. I'm sorry. It's nothing against you. It's just Sean, Sheen, Shane. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm gonna make it up, and we're gonna move on. The most interesting thing about your list is you're only playing 1 Stingmon that gives you memory. That's nuts. It's like the best card in the deck, but I also understand, well, like, you know, man, we really need that draw power. So, makes sense. Yeah, I guess it makes sense and doesn't make sense all at the same time. That being said, after that, it's Imperial. And again, we talked about in the start of the video, it's impressive to me how much Imperial, now, like in previous videos, I mentioned, it's impressive to me that Imperial has seen such a backseat, and we're flipping the script on that, and, oh, like, it just came out the gate this tournament. Oh my God. After that, you'll see kind of like the standards. We're playing 1 dragon mode, starter deck, HPD for the high roll, dragon mode for the trap potential. Only 2 ace, which is interesting. I guess the lower top end kind of explains like why we really need the draw, because we really need to draw into this stuff. And our bottom end is so thick. But 2 Lydramons, I love to see I love to see the green-blue level 4 armors, just to like round out our ratios. Once you have these level armors, it just makes it so you only need, like, it helps your math in terms of always seeing a blue and a green. Really easy, because any combination of these 3 gets you into DNA, which is invaluable for the deck, I feel. But yeah, no, we got a couple more of these to talk about. Oh, no DP plus egg. Interesting. Next up will be, this is Dan Vang's Imperialdramon list. I'm sure they're gonna have a video. GFG always has a video. Biggest includes our BT12 fighter mode for the blocker security attack and just the DP gain, so we can swing over some bodies that you know, sometimes we just need those DP thresholds. We have jamming, but there are big 15k blockers out there, you know what I mean? Not to mention things like you know, Dominimon forcing us to redirect attacks or whatever. Pyramidimon also doing the same. But there are more blockers out there right now, and they're big. And maybe they get suspended, but not always. You know what I mean? That being said, we got the medieval gallant. We do have green level 5s to take advantage of it. No BT16 trap. I like to call it the trap card. Dragon mode, just purely on the starter deck with a collage of everything else. Even finding time for 1 Bond of Friendship, which makes sense. Bond of Friendship is such a blowout card, especially since we're playing in a deck that has access to so many sources underneath. Excuse me. Playing the classical 6 Tamers, 4 and 2, making time for 1 Gigadeath and a Progenitor, 2 Progenitors. No hidden potential in this list, but so just kind of letting Progenitor be like our budget. Is it fair to call it budget hidden potential? I mean, it's got the extra effect, but you also have to pay too. Whatever, man. Whatever. It doesn't really. It ain't mean nothing to me, man. No, but no, congrats Dan Vang. I'm sure there's gonna be a video on the GFG channel, so if you want better insight and the real insight, please check them out. That being said, we move on to Michael Lafayette. I missed him in the intro of Eagle's Nest mainstay. Took the PP. He went from Saturday taking 5th place here to PPG case tournament taking the whole thing on the Sunday. So back-to-back success from Michael here. Busted. I honestly like. Always on Imperial, has been on Imperial, always has been making, like, always proving to me that Imperial had a place in the meta, even if it wasn't showing up in the top 16 of previous events, I should say. But that being said, you know, it's interesting to see the differences. I've gotten tired of mentioning all the differences in all the rookies. My favorite is still mentioning if they have the purple Wormmon or not. We do have the red Vmon for the plus 2k DP, just to try to get over some walls that are very important. Only one Hexblow, a traditional lineup of level 4s, I would say. No armor level 4 for a consistency contingency. That's a fun one. The traditional 7/5s, no trap card dragon mode following the dang. No, I don't want to say following the dang bang, but continuing from dang ban's list. Also, no trap card dragon mode, actually making room for Hammer Spark and hidden potential, cutting the Davis entirely. The BT 2, BT3, I think it's BT3. BT3 Davis, best green tamer in the game back then. Only one Paladin mode, so we're not infinite looping our deck in case it goes long, but we're not trying for games to go long, so I guess that makes sense. Also no Zudamon at the level 4 spot, or at the level 5 spot, but I guess this deck never really had room for that. Only one Hexblow. I was probably curious, making room for Medieval Gallant. Congrats Michael Lafayette for your success over the whole weekend, honestly. Then after that, we're closing to the end. We got 2 more Imperials. We got Kiki's 3rd place Imperialdramon list, and at this point we're getting pretty tired of talking about it, but blue scramble so we can go into our top end a little better. And sometimes you got like a desperation of going into your level 5s without DNAing, but probably mostly trying to get into Hexblow, recycle a piece. There's no, like, the scrambles are going to be a mainstay. Also the fact that it it helps the mill out strategies a little bit against Purple Hybrid, just in case. But we got Jade Memory Boost. We got the 1 Progenitor, so cutting a Progenitor so we can get the hidden potential in from the standard 2. Probably means we have more rookies or a little more level 4 somebody that I'm not seeing. Maybe a more thicker top end. I don't know. Also cutting one of the BT3 Davises to, I guess, Jade Memory Boost kind of makes up for the Davis count. So, like, it's probably an interesting evolution here, as we're going to see how important is Davis compared to the Jade Memory Boost going forward. Probably Davis is still ekes out as a little better, but I could be wrong. Congrats, Kiki. Like I said, at this point we get tired of talking about the same deck. And we got Intras, jump cut. Sorry, flabbergasted. Intras, 2nd place list, the last Imperial to talk about. We have kind of the mainstays. We brought back the level 4 Lydramon, and we get we're cutting the Davis, getting room for Jade Memory Boost, adding a mental training so we can go to Xblow or maybe even our dragon modes a little cheaper. Kind of makes sense. Progenitor is always good. I do think there's still room in decks like Imperial to have like trainings and boosts, just because you want something to do on your turn that isn't necessarily play a body. So like it is kind of nice to kind of diversify what you can do with your memory, I would say. That being said, no, congrats on 2nd place Intra. I think that's the Susanomon, which is really cool. That being said, we will I'll move on to purple hybrids. Yeah, no, let's start talking about purple hybrids, man. There's a lot of them. So 16th place, Patrick Sommerfeld. Not much to say, right? I think Purple Hybrid's been solved at this point. Cupimon kind of taking over Demimeramon for the most part. Siakomon is now the mainstay level 3 in place of, well, people were trying to run Fascomon, but now Siakomon has replaced that. Gazimon, because floodgates are important. Even a lower Gabumon count is kind of crazy. It feels crazy, but it is what it is. Genkumon Promote is becoming such a powerful mainstay in this deck. The fact that it evolves on level 4s lets you go from a tamer that can't attack into Dusk, into Genkumon Promote, into a body you wouldn't see coming. Gross. Kaiser Leomon to just kind of give us diversity and more level 4s to do things with. Argomon for the mirror match. Nidhoggmon for turn stealing shenanigans. Gallantmon for you know, another body that can rush and just clear things, man. -2 cost for every 5 cards in total. When you're trashing both players' decks, this guy gets played out for free quite often. It's kind of messed up, honestly. Jack Raid, busted card. Probably should go to 1. Calling, busted card. Probably should go to 0. Purple Memory Boost. Making time for Purple Memory Boost is kind of funny to me. Missed Memory Boost to just try to get Valgrind trash, but I feel like Missed Memory Boost isn't necessarily what we're trying to do in this deck. Maybe, I mean, I guess it does feel our Jack Raids and our Gallantmon, but like, I feel like this deck cares more about like selective draw and discard, like trying to find Dusk, but also I guess indiscriminately getting the Tamers and trash too is really valuable. So either way I see it. Also, we're running the Deathslinger, which is something that's kind of moving its way out, but the extra memory is nice. Rivals Barrage is 4 because it's essentially a tutor for anything in your deck as long as it's in the trash, right? Just doesn't have options, which whatever. Jack Raid, Mats. I think this has become also a standard way to round out our Tamers. Lu, 2 of the yellow Koichi, 3 Mats, because 3 Mats in the scenario where we want to have one of the starter deck 16 Mats for you know, just discard potential for an extra memory steal on your opponent's turn. Just like those little cheeky defensive things you can do. Koichi at 4, 3-drop Koichi at 4 is just, honestly, he's becoming the best inheritable tamer out there because he does have an on play, which is really rare for these inheritable tamers that you see going forward. Like the 3 I remember are Tommy, which not really relevant anymore, Zoe, which is nice but doesn't have late game potential, and then Koichi, which is always good. Sorry, Grats Patrick, 16th place. Let's move on to Josh, 15th place. More of the same, except we do not have the starter deck mat at all. Medieval Gallant, busted card. We're playing the yellow Kaiser Leomon instead, and no Shiakomon, so just the Gazi Psychmon in its place. Gitu Gyomon, so we can see our rush more often, but then more of the same. 4 purple memory boost instead of 4 miss memory boost instead of Deathslinger at all is kind of crazy, it feels like. But that being said, Death X, Gallant, Medieval, just the whole top end of Floodgatey top end just gives us something to do in case we don't want to end our turn on like some dumb play like Tamer Digivolve into Dusk and pass, right? Just giving us things to do, and that's really what the Missed Memory Boost and in the last list Purple Memory Boost do the same thing there, right? So not bad. Congrats on 15th place. Let's move on. Talk about Dinkelberg's. Sorry, 15th place list. 15th place list. We see the Kaiser Leomon, Genku Promote, Gallant. The Grape Memory Boost, so we can find a Medieval, is kind of funny to me. No starter deck mat, but the same tamer lineup other than that. Argomon for the mirror match. Floodgate selection up here, but Shiakomon still stays a mainstay in the rookie lineup, along with 2 Gabumon starter decks is interesting. Again, QP at 3. Oh, a little more diversity mix up in the Digibubble field, which I guess it makes sense. I'm not hating on it. And then after that, it's pretty much all the standard. 4 Barrage is mainstay in the deck. 1 Calling, 4 Jack Raid, all mainstay. 2 Nidhogg, again for turn stealing potential. Lu, crazy card. Rush Geo, only 1 Rush Geo, so we made room for the second Gabu instead of a second Rush Geo. Like, it makes sense just because we can loop things back, but having the second one probably comes out ahead in most like math situations, but I could be wrong. That said, we go to our next purple hybrid. Where is it? That was Dinkelberg, 14th place. Congrats. Going into 12th place, Dirty Hipsters list. Great memory boost becoming so we can find out our Medieval Gallants. Funny, we got the return of starter deck Matt. No Rush Geo, but we're playing this might be how we received the list, but I could see that this might be a mistake. Maybe this should have been the when attacking draw 1 trash one's actually really nice, but I feel like the other Goblimon has that too. So that being said, I feel like this might be either a mistake on Eggman's part, or you uploaded the list wrong to Carta, or Carta gave us the wrong list. There's this. I feel like the story behind this is it just should be the starter deck Goblimon. Could be wrong. Maybe you really do value the 2K, or you don't own them. One way or the other. So either way, Goblimon should be the starter deck Goblimon, I assume, or at least the starter deck 12 Goblimon, which the one that says start of turn, gain a memory if your opponent is a Digimon. And then after that, pretty much the same. 2 Genkumon promotes. No Rush Gyo is interesting. An interesting choice for sure. Rivals Barrage and Mainstay. 2 Nidhogg. Only 3 Jack Raid. Oof. Oh man, all your homies are running 4, and you're cutting for things, man. Where are you making the space? I guess you're adding the rookie count, right? Or the mat. I guess the Jack Raid for mat, I guess, is something we kind of did. 3 great memory boosts instead of Miss or Purple, just so we can find Medieval. No, congrats, Dirty Hipster. Now we get to move on to, this is 4th place. This is GFG Tyler's list. It's funny to see Tyler move from all his funny shenanigans with Purple Hybrid into more of a classical, you know, we're playing the Gazi, we're playing Siyako, no Mother, no Beelzemon craziness. Not playing the starter deck Mat to, you know, turn steel a little bit extra, playing the Purple Memory Boost instead of Mist Memory Boost and Grape Memory Boost, even though we still are on the Medieval Gallant. So Rush Gallant, Medieval Gallant, all here. 1 Rush Gyo. I wonder what people's thought. I guess Tyler, GFG Tyler, Godfather of GFG, probably has a video on this, so maybe he goes into depth as to why he isn't going for Grape or isn't going for Mist. I probably have already touched on some of the reasons why, but it's nice to get things out of the horse's mouth. So go watch that video. My instincts tell me Purple Memory Boost is better, so like it's nice to see Mr. Godfather agree with me. Next list. We're done. This is our 1st place list. This is Crispy Juegos. Purple Hybrid takes the whole tournament. Purple Memory Boost. That's, hey, Mr. Top 2 Purple Hybrids are agreeing with me. That's kind of fun. No starter deck Mat. Allows us to fit in something else. Allows us to, again, Kaiser Leo here. The Digivolving on top of a level 4 must be pretty valuable, huh? Genkumon Promote. Also, it Digivolves for 2 on any Purple Tamer, so I feel like that is also a reason to run this over the Kaiser Leo, because it Digivolves on Mat for 2, so that's like that extra memory that you probably wouldn't expect Purple Hybrid to have, right? And then Shakomon, Gabumon at 2, Gazimon, no Psychmon, only 1 Gyomon. And then after that, just it's all the same math. Just 4 Jack Raid, 1 Calling, 4 Rivals, 2 Nidhogg. It's all the same math. A lot of these lists, like I said, I feel like Purple Hybrid has been solved. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's like going into 2.5. We're finally playing. We are in the exact same format as Japan now. It's not a unified release yet, but we are playing the same format as Japan, and I feel like that's just gonna be interesting. That's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? I know a lot of people are excited. So it's gonna be interesting. So we'll be in the same format, and then going into 21, we'll get to experience the start of a format together, and that'll be so fun. That'll be so fun. More things to come. Check out we've been streaming every week for Eagle's Nest. So you guys have fun, enjoy, breathe, drink water, eat food, live life, love life, become a channel member. It's $2. Get some emotes. Other than that, I don't promise anything with the channel member thing. It's just help me make this more financially feasible, I guess. That's it. That's all. Good night, everybody. EggmanEvents.com. That's where we have everything. Eagle's Nest, weekly tournaments. Come check them out. It's been really fun. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. We're pausing. Stopping the video. Bye. Bye. Bye.